You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Welcome back to Movie Bitters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kirk.
And I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick.
And we have a very special guest.
This is Farx.
And we are talking about Materialists. This is the spoilers segment. Why does she end up with Pedro Pascal? Why does she end up with Chris Evans? I don't understand.
They actually like each other and love each other.
Yeah, but
they're compatible.
Mrs. Farx said in the last segment, he's too hot, but he's poor. Look, Pedro Pascal could give her everything that she wanted from Chris Evans. Doesn't that equate to some kind of love there?
So, Mr. Leg Surgery Pedro Pascal, who got 6 inches from I would give up dick length for height. So I kind of get it.
I do.
How much?
2 inches.
Whoa.
I do like that. She knew that it wasn't going to work early on, and she was like, I don't think you love me. I don't love you. Mm-hmm. And she easily walked away because I think that relationship would have been very difficult to walk away from because of all the perks. They were going to go to Iceland. I mean, she wouldn't have to work if she didn't want to. You mentioned the penthouse, beautiful. I mean, they would just have everything. But she apparently wasn't a materialist in any way, so she went with love.
She was a materialist in many ways because of her work. I guess the argument maybe against what you're saying is that they would have fallen out of love.
Well, they were never in love.
No, Chris Evans and
Pedro
Dakota?
and Dakota.
They had names in
the movie.
Well, I mean, sure, if they weren't in love, I think they would have stayed married for sure. I think their marriage would have lasted longer than Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson's characters. Because, in the flashback, they broke up because he couldn't give her what she wanted. A friggin' dinner reservation and paying $25 for parking.
Would you pay $25 for
They were
parking?
too petty because they had to grow up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna friggin' put on my credit card or go further into debt. Yeah, it's my girlfriend. It's my anniversary. Of course I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Ladies, he's single.
Yeah, I am so goddamn
He's going to pay $25 for parking. Get on it.
Would pay $25 for parking. He actually had intimacy with her emotionally and mentally, whereas Pedro and her didn't. It was just he wanted to prove he could get the ordinary maiden, as it were.
Ordinary maiden.
What?
Well, because she was of the common class, but she was hot. And he was like, she would never think I was this hot if I weren't this tall.
Or, with the 6 inches and...
With the 6
and
inches.
the $12 million penthouse.
6 million, 6 inches, and what is it? That's 6 feet tall?
Yeah.
And they talk about height a lot in that movie.
Blue eyes.
It's shocking.
Yeah. That meme on TikTok.
Wait, what's the meme, Kirk?
I forget how it goes, but
6 figures, 6 inches.
No, finance, blue eyes.
I'm looking for a man in finance. Trust fund. 6 style, blue eyes, finance.
I'm saying it wrong. It's people are probably yelling through their headphones.
That's
yeah, lady made a song about it. Huh?
The ideal man. Nick, you're 6 foot, right? Does it work?
About.
Do you feel it?
I don't know.
Do women approach you in bars?
Do you feel women look at you like how Dakota Johnson looked at Pedro Pascal?
No. There's too much else wrong with me.
Is it because you're too poor?
What?
Compared to Pedro Pascal's millionaire, downtown New York wedding brother, he says his mother started a family private equity company.
Yeah.
That part bothered me, but that was the only thing in the movie. There are no family private equity companies.
It's a
family
movie.
run.
What does that even mean, family private equity?
Well, the whole point of private equity is that you buy a bunch of companies and then you run a balance sheet against all of them. And a lot of times what corporate raiders do is they'll buy a company, load it up with debt, and then cash out getting the quick bucks and then leave the company hollow. It's like what happens at the end of Wall Street, the movie.
But the parents ran it together, and that was the point.
And yes, their private equity wasn't as evil as most private equity that
Yes.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was a family business.
Yeah, it's a ma and pa private equity.
You didn't say that though. You just say it was a family-owned private equity, not
He
like a
said
mom and
my
pop.
parents were in finance, so I went into finance, and then I bought a $12 million apartment. Makes sense. And I don't have room to judge here because the dividing line I agree with is if you went to college and your partner went to college, you're on the white collar side of the working line of the economy. It just, you're better off if you did. And if if your parents went to college, both parents, and then you meet someone, and I'm looking at you, brother Kirk. So if her parents, as I know you to be heterosexual, both went to college, like how much ahead of most people would you be coming from that background? And it seemed like she didn't have a very stable home life, and neither did Chris Evans, so they kind of have that bond.
Well, here's my question. Is she settling? Technically, is she settling for Chris Evans? I think she kind of is.
No, because she apparently loves him very much, and he loves her very much.
Yeah, but he's so broken. Sure.
He said he's going to pick up more shifts.
Yeah.
And do commercial jobs. That I thought was really dumb, too, because it's like, no, I'm not going to do commercial work when it's like every performer we know, where they're making a bulk of their money is not in artistic narrative, it is in commercial work, right? Or industrials, whatever the...
Maybe I have a different definition of settling.
What's your definition of settling, Kirk?
I don't know.
Ladies, again, he's
not
single.
the best option. The only option you got, in some ways.
He wasn't the only option she had. She
Yeah.
gave up her option of
Being
Pedro
with
Pascal.
Yeah, because it wasn't love, quote unquote. But I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't understand why she likes Chris Evans more when the only flashback they gave us in the movie is him failing to do anything for her.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
He drove them there.
He
took her
has a
to-
car.
It's because he's hot.
Yeah. Pedro
They-
Pascal also has a car that he doesn't have to drive.
A better car.
Yeah. And he gave her a car so she could drive around. Look at that.
Yes, he has extreme wealth. He's a Roman Empire in today's world, and that makes him obviously attractive in a material sense. But he's so petty that he had to get 6 inches added to his
He's
height.
so petty?
Yeah, it's a petty thing to do.
No,
because if
it's
you
a-
just believe you're tall, you're tall.
That's not how the real world works, Kyle. You've been here, right? You've been on Earth with me. Yeah,
I
come
have
on.
made the argument on this show before that there's no CEO of a Fortune 500 company
Yeah.
below like 5'9" or something like that.
I mean, yeah, sure. Look, height isn't everything, sure. But it's going to take you a long time to find somebody who doesn't care about height.
And in that movie, they really kind of
Yeah, they
play it up more than I realized.
hammer that thing in.
They really did.
How much everyone cares about
Height,
everything.
yeah.
Oh, well, height.
Because all
but
the
then
women
also-
mentioned being 6 feet tall. I'm looking for someone 6 feet tall, someone who has money, someone who has stability.
Well, then the men had their things too.
Yeah,
Both are physical.
and age for sure.
Age.
They had
I'm
an age
thinking
limit.
28. I'm thinking 20. What do you say? 26, 27?
Yeah.
29's too old. Like,
Yeah, 29 is basically 30.
and 39 is 40.
39 is obviously the woman that played the average in every way person that is assaulted. She is
Average in every way.
You thought she was average in every way? She was pretty.
I didn't say that. That is
Oh,
what Dakota
that they
Johnson's
called her.
boss says when they're
Oh,
smoking on the balcony.
Yeah, when they're
at
telling
the beginning of the movie. Like she's good, but she's like doesn't excel in any way. She's like, and that actress is I have a relationship to from Succession, where she was in the background then moved to the foreground because she starts doinking the billionaire
okay.
dad in Succession.
Is that in season 4?
Yes. Well, in season 3 and 4, you see her move closer to him from the background as his assistant because he moves away from his wife, Logan Roy,
Look,
in
okay,
season.
since you brought it up, yeah, this is a very serious movie. An assault happened. This would never happen in Hitch. This is not a rom-com. No one will ever be assaulted in a rom-com.
Important topics, which matters of consent and sexual harassment and assault, fall into, can still be substantive topics can be in a movie that is comedic, as long as those topics aren't treated in a comedic way. And I don't feel those topics were treated in a comedic way. And now we're going to get into the, I believe he followed her into the bathroom, which is a form of assault. I'm questioning what the movie wants me to think about him being outside her apartment, because the way she says he just left when Dakota Johnson gets there after leaving the wedding, where you kind of think, oh, is this the conclusion of the movie? She's with Chris Evans at the rural wedding, and
Yeah, I thought the movie was about to end then.
yeah, and then it doesn't end. And I don't want to imply that the movie is suggesting you should question the epistemology of ordinary in every way.
Yeah,
but
but
I
here's my
think the
argument.
movie is kind of...
My argument is that happens in every movie. Hey, the bad guy's outside, he won't leave, and then when the good guys get there, the bad guy's gone. That happens every time anyways. Why don't
you're
you believe it
describing
when
a
a
movie
woman
my
says it?
kids watch. This is a movie for adults. And adult
Again,
movies can have
not
nuance.
a comedy, not a rom-com then.
An
I would
adult-
say a rom-com, children could probably watch it. They probably shouldn't, but they could watch a rom-com.
Yeah, they've watched 50 First Dates because it has all the animals and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Ben Farx is entering the chat. You're already in this episode. We're also going to be spoiling the Materialists, which I don't think you're going to care about, dear Ben Farx. But
I don't.
you're not
It's
mic'd
not-
anyways, so
It's not that I will never see the movie. It's that I don't. It's that I am anti spoiler.
we're discussing whether or not the movie makes us want to believe or not that a woman was harassed after being assaulted. I don't think there's a question over whether or not she was assaulted, even though we didn't see it. But I
Why
do
are
think,
you questioning why she was harassed?
I'm questioning if he was actually outside her apartment.
Why? Why does she have a reason to lie?
I think that she, based on what the movie is telling me, that woman feels as though she deserves somebody. She's not the character that says that, but a different one of the clients says, I deserve somebody, and Dakota Johnson's character is like, no, you don't. No one deserves somebody. You're lucky if you find your person, and then that you recognize that. That's kind of the romanticism.
My
of the
counter
movie.
is, why would you go back to the people who essentially got you insulted? Like, why would you do that?
Well, that's the thing is like this woman her life is so hollow and meaningless that the best people she can reach out to are people she formerly employed as matchmakers. Like that tells you something about her as a
That is
person.
such a reach. I think she's not evil. She's not manipulative. She got assaulted, and now there's a bad guy on the outside trying to get in. I think she's...
And I don't want to like. I think this is a romantic comedy, and we do not see the assault, but the real world possibility of someone being assaulted on a date is something that a movie can address as a reality, as you put it, living here on planet Earth.
Well, Mrs. Farx, did you think the assault happened, or did you think he was outside the building?
She just sounded a little suspicious. So what I thought is she was going to have Dakota Johnson come to her place and then like stab her or like do something to her because she was mad about the situation. But then it seemed like, oh no, it actually was genuine. She didn't have anyone else to call. And so then I was like, okay, then I think he was definitely there. But when she said, oh, he must have run away when I said help was coming, that part, like you said, did sound very suspicious. So I think he was there.
Well, she also said she called the cops too first, though.
But the cops were like, we can't do anything about that
cops
unless
can't
he's...
do anything. Yeah, they're not gonna do anything. So
That was my next question. Like, did they address the issue of like calling the cops? Sounds like they did. Now
Yeah.
it jogs my memory. I remember that now.
There
But,
was a
like,
kid in my high school. I'm not going to say his name. It was Shmon Shmuel Shmoy. it rhymed with that. And he stalked Schmegan. And like they could not get a restraining order for anything in our small town. And he'd like be outside their house and stuff. So like I believe this is a real thing, but it's like a completely... I
too
talked to that guy.
convenient in the movie.
What?
It's too convenient in the movie.
Like there's just other contextual details about like, oh, I don't have any friends. The closest person I would call or could call is my matchmaker who I've already fired and am suing.
But it's like, if you think about it, the only reason they probably had that scene was to show how Chris Pine was such a good guy that he would
Chris
drop
Evans.
Chris Evans would drop
It's
everything.
Captain America, not Captain Kirk.
Would drop everything and drive them back to New York after they had planned a weekend away. So I think it was to kind of build up to that's who she was going to choose. It didn't really matter what was
Yeah.
going on with this client.
You have made an excellent point, and I'm
I
so
think that's
sorry
more
I
of a
nerd-mansplained
meta
you.
debate, though. That's like a story debate. How do we get Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson back to the city? Oh, what about have her assaulter come back into her life. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense doing that way. So wouldn't it make more sense that he was there, he was indeed there, to get them back there?
It seems
Yeah.
insane to me that anyone with the amount of... New York is a city of 10 million people. Why would you fixate on any one person? And I know people do this and they're crazy.
Yeah, what?
Like, just like... What's funny is how lonely these people are in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie in the most populous city
It's
in the
not
United
funny.
States.
It's sad.
Is that funny? Yeah.
It's
not
comedic
funny at all.
juxtaposition.
Let's go back to the elite jokes that you laughed at. What were they that you found it funny?
Wow, that's really impressive. You remembered all those lines. A playwright wrote that line.
That was funny.
That made me laugh out loud in the theater. I was
I thought he was mocking him. I didn't laugh at that.
What?
I thought Pedro Pascal was mocking him, wasn't he?
No, that is exactly what someone who doesn't understand that would say,
Yes.
and would be impressed by it, because having memorized all the lines for a play before, it's like that's the not impressive part of it, and having watched people say all the lines in a play before, it'd be like, damn. Could you imagine having to memorize all those? It'd be like, wow. It's a very clever joke. It is not a ha-ha funny joke, and it is an elite intelligentsia type joke, which is the case for this entire movie. Like, oh, this person makes this much. That way you know, like, how much mobility they would have in the economy that is New York.
Nick, did you find that joke funny?
Actually, yeah, that was one of the funnier jokes.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Wait, so you think this, are you pro or anti this being a romantic comedy?
Well, I mean, it's definitely comedy. There's definitely comedy there. I wouldn't call it a comedy first.
You call it a romance first?
I think it's a drama comedy. I think it's a dramedy. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, because the backstory with her and Chris Evans, that's a lot of drama. The stuff with Pedro, that's the rom-com, that's the rom stuff. Like, oh, rich guy is gonna take me to his $12 million penthouse apartment. But it's like, you know, overall,
Do you appreciate the Greek idea of if everyone doesn't die at the end, then it's comedy. If everyone dies at the end, it's drama.
I think that's oversimplifying.
Yeah.
The Greeks are fuck the Greeks.
Put that plate down. Don't throw it at the wall. I feel like that's one of those jokes, like how I make fun of the Irish, I can get away with. I'll find out if I can. We'll find out if we ever trend in Greece, which we haven't been.
Yeah, but are you part Greek?
Are you profiling me based on how I look sitting here?
No, I get why you make fun of or you hate the Irish. why do you hate the Greek? Yeah, why do you hate the Greek?
I don't hate Greek people. I think it's funny to make fun of Greek people. Those are different things.
Okay, sure. All right. So just to bring it back to the thing I didn't want
spoilers
for Celine's song. Yeah. Look, I was saying it in a jokey way to Kyle, like off mic, about how it's kind of like internalized racism, but she married a white guy, so that's how it goes, and she writes stories about. No, her character's ending up with white people. That's fine.
Our brother Kirk doesn't like when Asian women get with white guys, because she thinks he thinks it's like their self-hatred or internalized racism to go with the white superiority instead of, not that whites are superior, but they're playing into white superiority or something.
It's the common idea that I wouldn't date an Asian guy because that would be like dating my brother. That kind of thing.
I actually have heard that.
Yeah. It's more that thing than anything else.
Excuse me, Mrs. Farx, who have you heard that from?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, but like a friend and comrade. And,
Yes. Yeah. Like a friend. Like
okay. A friend of Asian descent.
Kind of like how I've heard it put where if you as a white guy have a thing for Asian women, that's like that might be some deep-seated thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think guys that do that is like, since Asian cultures are more conservative than a lot of white cultures, you're going for a more submissive person because you're a weak male.
Well,
it's a beta thing to do.
Maybe, or just like
this is an Alpha Bro
What
podcast.
about love? There could be love, and like all that stuff doesn't matter because you love who you love, and
yeah, I wasn't serious about.
I've seen plenty of Asian guys with white chicks.
Yeah, I have too. But it's like that stupid thing in the back of your mind. You're always thinking, why she was a white guy? Is it internalized racism? Look, that's on me, and I have to correct it. I take full responsibility for that.
I did say we're the Jurassic World Rebirth pod will come out before this, and as we've already stated, Ben Farx is in the
It
room.
will?
But I don't know. It's up to you. I need to check my biases because something that ScarJo says in Jurassic World is like, I thought she was saying, oh yeah, I'm single in the scene where she's wearing the tank top. Like, we're first seeing her in a tank top, and she's revealing also her character trait that she is single because her partner died, but it was actually her coworker.
Yeah, coworker.
And that's where I needed to check my biases.
Yeah, and so will I when that happens. Look, yeah, it was a joke. It wasn't something serious, but it is kind of funny that in both her movies that she's done, they're both A24, right?
Both Celine Song's movies
Yeah.
are A24 movies.
That the character ends up with the female character ends up with a white guy.
Instead of picking the Chilean guy or the
Yeah.
South Korean guy, is it South? Yeah, it's South Korean in Past Lives.
There's
She
also
picks-
that she ends up with a struggling
guy?
artist. No, yeah, struggling artist because he's a writer, right? He in past lives he doesn't make a ton of money, but he's published a book.
John
or two.
Majero
Yeah.
is playing the same character he plays in Psychotherapy.
Yeah.
And maybe the same character he plays in. Oh no, he lies about being a doctor in Materialists, right? Because they say, oh, he wasn't honest about his whatevers. or
Wait,
something.
he was the shitty writer in Psychotherapy. The
Yes.
Steve Buscemi?
That was the guy that called Dakota Johnson to talk about the date where he is accused of having been he's allegedly a sexual assaulter.
What? This is in Materialists?
Yes, because
I
he's
don't
he's in Past Lives,
Okay.
and he's the guy that ends up with spoilers for like Past Lives. If you were, and it doesn't matter knowing who she ends up with is in the text of the movie early on. So it's that guy, and he's very good. And I've seen him in other things, and he often plays the schlubby guy who kind of sucks. But he must, I don't know, the guy's packing big heat, I hear. John Majero has a huge penis.
I was going to say he's got a huge dick. He must
Well,
have
I
a huge
mean,
dick.
to play this character in this movie, he must be awfully confident, or Celine Song is one hell of a salesperson to be like, hey, so I want you to play a sexual assaulter. We will only hear your voice, and people will hate you, no matter what.
we only heard
Yeah.
he was the voice of the guy.
Yes, that's what we were saying.
That's why I'm like I would have recognized this guy's face probably if I'd seen it, and I didn't.
It would be hilarious to watch Psychotherapy and then watch Past Lives and go, same guy. Wow, the quality of the movie really changes how I view an
I want
actor.
to punch that guy in the dick in Psychotherapy.
Yeah, I wanted to punch
did
that
you
guy
see
in the
it?
dick in Psychotherapy.
We watched
Yeah,
Psychotherapy.
he watched it with
Oh
you.
right, I forgot you were there. You just were there
That
for the
movie
episode.
didn't work for
Yeah.
me, but in the end it didn't work.
Does anyone want to go into why they don't think it's a rom-com anymore, or we hit it all?
I think we hit it all.
Yeah, I think it's done. It's hot.
Do you want
Yeah.
to make a really bad financial decision with me? Is supposed to be the most romantic line in the movie.
Well, I mean, that's,
love.
I get it.
You were
I get
moved?
it. Huh?
Were you moved?
Moved?
I can't say the fucking word.
So like deck, like you're punching somebody.
Deck.
Decum. Declaration.
Declaration.
Yeah, declaration.
Yeah, I was moved by the declaration of love. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
the
that's-
words,
that's
but
definitely what
the
they're going
feeling,
for.
the vibe of love. Yeah.
Moved by the Declaration of Love will be a great first hit from our band, the Ass Wipes and the Funky Bunch.
Wow. How we
I
get
couldn't
better
think of a
name?
good way. Let's
The
talk about
masturbators.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
masturbators. Ending shot. You see Ordinary in every way. Does anyone remember her name? We don't remember any of the characters' names in this movie, which is now.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who anyone is.
They were great characters. I just don't care about their names.
Yeah, the names don't matter.
But the Ordinary in every way is in the ending shot. She's the one I recognized first in the credit shot where you see all the people in the
City Hall or whatever?
City Hall, getting married.
Wait, she's in that?
She's
I
toward the
didn't notice
beginning on
that.
the right side.
Oh.
She's sitting in front of Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans, who are also in that shot.
So she's getting married to someone.
She finally met somebody. At least I'm.
Maybe it was the rapist. They worked it out.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Dang.
I'm like, wait, if
Returning
you're
champion.
gonna be in my bed, I'm gonna
Nick
fucking
Farx.
edge the fuck out of you.
Whoa.
I have heard, and I would like Mrs. Farx to weigh in on this. I have heard the idea that like the next thing on a list for women is like if you can't have someone you love, you would rather have someone be so obsessed with you they want to murder you, and that's why like these crime podcasts play
Nobody
so
would
well with
choose that. Who in the right mind would choose that?
nobody. Well, people aren't in their right mind when they're in love or when they're desperate for love.
I don't know about all that, but like there's got to be some reason with the fascination, you know, of the true crime and all of that. But I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Women really like people who could take another person's life, you know, with their hands. I don't know. I think they just like the fantasy of it.
Would you bring a woman to this movie?
No, because it's not a rom-com.
Pussy.
A woman brought me to the movie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to mention it? Because I will mention the caveat. You guys are broken up. Yeah.
Technically,
so-
it was we were broken up while we watched the movie.
Roommate friend.
We're still going to the it's the weirdest breakup in history.
It's
Yeah.
not the weirdest breakup in history. It's
It is kind
a
of weird.
breakup in history that will be recorded as part of
Yeah,
the
this-
Materialist spoiler section
Maybe
featuring
cut this
Mrs.
part out.
Farx. I really liked the end. Okay, how about this? Instead of would you take a woman to see it, and I called you a pussy, and I'm not taking it back. Would you recommend this
That was
to
the first
people?
time.
Would you recommend this movie to people? I would universally recommend this movie to adults.
I think
You got to know the tastes of the person you're right. If
Yeah,
they're expecting How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, then no.
also because
If
I
I
don't.
think they're stupid, not that you're stupid to like those movies, but if you went in not expecting something
I
with
saw Hitch, and I actually went on a date to go see Hitch back in the day, and I like Hitch was fine. But I don't like. I generally, you know, sometimes these movies rise above like my expectations, and it's like I like.
Hitch
these,
is
and I
like
don't think
F1. It's entertainment.
What?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's nothing like F1. I saw F1 with you. It's nothing like F1. But here's my
In the
argument.
sense that
Here's my
it
argument.
fulfills the like fast casual
Yeah,
nature
I'll tell
of.
people to watch this, but not because it's a romantic film. I don't even think it's a romantic film because there's so much math in it, and there's so much.
Math can't be sexy.
No, it's not that. It's
Kirk
because there's
Farx, math can't be
because
sexy.
there's a checklist, and there's nothing romantic about like. There's not enough love in this movie. I think
Everyone
between-
has a checklist. Ask Mrs. Farx if she had a checklist.
Did you have a checklist? Do you
Not
wanna
like in
deep
this
dive?
movie, but like in the back of your head, you know, like you know what you like and you don't
Yeah.
like, but it wasn't like, oh, it's on paper and, you know, I said it out loud to somebody. No, absolutely not.
Ask her
take-
which boxes I checked.
Which boxes did you check? Did Kyle check?
Did Kyle Farx check for Mrs. Farx, guest of the spoilers section of the Materialist episode or segment of Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers?
Love.
I mean, yeah.
The point that to bring it back to the movie, I don't think there was enough love in this movie though. I didn't believe the love between Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson.
I didn't
think-
either, really.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
didn't.
Late
It didn't
sta-
work for me.
Late stage capitalism has atomized everyone to the point where we are in a second Gilded Age, and now you have to have these realities considered in an entire movie.
Any last thoughts? Because we are getting eaten alive in this.
I'm gonna go get the
Okay.
citronella candles and open it up and ran the fan and do all the things.
Nick, any last thoughts?
No, it's fine. I like the cave. I like that you saw the cave couple in the
Yeah, that
closing
was nice.
credits.
Yes.
Oh man, we didn't say anything about the
Yeah, I
cave
forgot
couple.
about the cave couple.
I had it in my notes too. I love the cave couple.
And that it wasn't until like 3/4 of the way through the credits. And I forget if they were before or after you saw. I don't know the characters' names.
They were
Johnson
first.
and
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah, you
Evans.
see
They
Chris
were first.
Evans and Dakota Johnson before you see the cave people.
Before you see the cave people.
in
okay.
the marriage scene or the city hall. Did you do you agree with the concept that throughout time, you know, love is a constant and a binary, in that you either are or you are not in love?
I think as a foundation, yeah. But then I think the real world has its realities that intrude on that, where it's like, well, now I have to think about financial things because that's the world we live in. I have to think about how much my partner makes. Those things. You have the foundation of like two people who want to be with one another, but then you have other things to consider, where it's like, oh, this person only makes $35,000 a year, but those are secondary, but they weigh on it. They're like a weight you drop on top of everything else or attached to it, like the mafia tying a rock to a body.
Wow, nice. Mrs. Farx, any last thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
Kyle?
Marriage records have been one of the most solid ways of measuring contracts over time. according to Celine Song in one of the interviews I listened to today. The podcast exists as an epistemology of our thoughts and beliefs at the time of our reflecting upon this one.
Well, I think that was a great discussion on Materialists.
Wrap
Because
that
I
up.
want to, I want to get out of here because I want to put on some bug spray. Our next debate will be with Jimmy Keeves, and we'll be discussing Goodfellas.
That will be something in the future.
See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN. Join us next time for another debate.